Get everything set up here. See if I don't have anything in the back. Oh, that's not good. I have a bunch of shit here. 10 already. You guys are dropping like flies, just to let you know. Dropping like flies. I gotta turn on all my gadgets, get ready here. It's already, I think, since I'm not doing bat reviews anymore, and I'm glad you guys are sticking with me here. There's a lot of things that's gonna go up before I get on Facebook. There's a lot of things that are gonna go here. Here's one thing you guys gotta get through to you is, and I'll talk more about this in the next, I'm not gonna put everything on the plate tonight and talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about this in the next few weeks and kind of introduce the things why I made this decision to do this. And it's almost like you're at a job for so long that, you know, and I wanted, like somebody had talked to me the other day, I wanted to go out on top. I didn't want it to start going downhill. And this last year, this last year was my best year ever. And this year, it started off freaking great. Now, one thing I will tell you guys, there's a lot of politics when you're doing this. And I did not like the false friends. And I kind of kept everybody at arm's length whenever I would talk to them, because I knew a lot of their shit was fake. And it kind of proved it the last week when the rumor started. And guys, when the rumor started a week before I made the announcement, I was gonna shut it down. I was gonna go and I was gonna shut everything down, but I thought that I could just keep the Facebook and the YouTube and just do health and nutrition and workout routines for seniors and basically do all my senior stuff, right? And then keep the channel and then just not do bat reviews and live in the country. That is all true. I don't say anything about that, but all of a sudden this person that is with a bat company, I asked him for the bats that he actually was saving for me, and he heard a rumor, and I guess he didn't like the rumor, and he sold the bats out from under me. And this is a really good friend of mine, I thought. So that's what I'm talking about. A lot of fake people out there where they tell you like, hey, I like you, Dave, I like what you do, and you know, I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, they heard the rumor, and I guess they thought the rumor was true, which it wasn't at the time. And then the whole thing came up whenever I got off the phone, and I had Jeff coming on that night, and I put in that phone call to Jeff, and I was saying, hey, this is what we're going to talk about tonight, like I do on every podcast that I do, kind of get everybody on the same page. You know, what's going to talk about, and he said, okay, and this is like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before he was going on, and he goes, I said, can I ask you something? I said, there's a rumor going around that, that I was going to come along and be with you guys. I said, who started it? You know anybody started that rumor? Was there anything said? Dave, I have no idea. And he was like, Dave, I don't know. And he had Leslie there. He was talking to Leslie, and Leslie going, I didn't heard anything about that. And then I said, okay. And I'd already made up my mind to quit doing this. And he goes, but what if the rumor was true? What would you say? And I stopped for a minute, and right then he knew that I was like, oh shit, I'm thinking about this. He knew that. And I said I would entertain an offer, because I'd have to change stuff up. I was going up and going to talk to Baker 3 Ranch about a job, and I would entertain an offer. So he got excited and he said, let me call you back after we do the podcast. And that's how it all started. But it's 7:33. It's a very, and I'll talk a little bit about this, but here's the deal about this. On my YouTube channel, it's, the only thing that's going to change is I'm not doing bat reviews. I'm actually not doing reviews on Short Porch. Okay, I'm going to tell you if the bat's good or not. You know, I'm gonna tell you what bat, because they have the one thing I like about going with them is they have a whole line of bats for bat speed, and that's what I preached for 15 years, right? So they got a whole line. So I thought the fit was really good because of the line of flexi barrels and flexi handles, and they get it. They get it. So I thought it would have been a great fit, you know, with me going there. So basically, you know, like the other day, I mean, somebody. I want to educate. I will talk about this over here because I want to talk about that. But I want to thank you guys on YouTube. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I'm going to give you guys some numbers here. I did it on Facebook, but I don't think you guys know these numbers. And I'm going to give you guys some numbers here in a minute. And we're going to talk about what you guys have done for me in the last 15 years. And I'm going to throw some ungodly numbers up there, you know, to let you guys know. It always says share too. I don't want it to go there, dude. I need to get going because Adam's coming on here in a minute. And I want to make sure that this goes live already. And again, on you guys on that Facebook page, on that YouTube page, because Facebook's going right now. It's going to take a few minutes to get them going, but on this YouTube, what I usually do is I have you guys on this one side, and I've got 18 people running right now, and then what I want to do is it says share the group, and I want to share it to Short Porch. There you go. Buy, sell, and trade. I want to share it to a few people, and while I'm talking right here, but what basically, like I talked about in a minute, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to share. I'm going to share it later. I'll share it later. All these guys. Basically, I'm going to have Adam on here from FatGuy BP and kind of talk to him about two things. He's got a bat that was released, and we hit it yesterday, and we're going to hit it again tomorrow. And it's an awareness. I have him talk about who's it for, his son, I think, and basically talk to him about how he got started and how he started. I really do like his channel too. Adam Fowler from FatGuy BP. I'll have him talk in a minute. I think he's going to come on at 8 o'clock. So I want to get things going. We have 3 people watching right here. And I know I was going to take a hit. When I started doing this, I knew I was going to take a hit with Senior Softball Bat Reviews when I dissolved it. I have lost a lot of subscribers in the last few days. My viewership has went down. You know, I was pumping in good numbers for 15 years. Actually, not 15 years. For the last 5 years, pumping in good numbers. But the first 5 years, it was tough. It was tough, man. I would have... And the criticism that I got when I started, you know, the people, the naysayers, because what I did, right? What I did was I started talking about a different way of thinking about bats and how to let you guys know just because they do bat testing, that doesn't mean how the bat performs. I'm not going to go into a lot of that too. I'll get started here, but I'm not going to go into a lot of that stuff about the test, and I knew this from the beginning, the testing methods, you know, on different bats, and how I thought a little bit of that was flawed, and how the exit velocity was flawed, the compression testing was flawed when you're doing that. I think there's a human element, not just the machine. There's a human element that's involved. You just can't build a hot ass barrel. And I'm gonna try to get. There's a lot of stuff I am not gonna talk about anymore, because I'm not gonna start spewing information about bats, because a lot of people out there took that information and did other things with it, and you guys know what I'm talking about. But I want to thank everybody. All the messages that you guys have said in the last week is badass. I read that, and I feel like I've made an impact to a lot of people's lives. You know, fuck the bat reviews. The biggest thing. That ain't shit. It's the people's lives that I impacted. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to talk about is, did I help you get your quality of life back? Did I help you get out there and start hitting again, because the bat you were swinging was a piece of shit, and then I put you in a different bat because of your bat speed, and you find out you're gonna play a couple of more years. The guys that were hurt, that I tell them you need to go a softer barrel, you know, and keep you in the game longer. That's what is worth to me. The guys that have messaged me and tell me that they were fixing to retire, the 70-year-old guys, and then the guys that told me, hey, I found testosterone replacement therapy, you know, and my brain was going everywhere, depression, anxieties, and then I gave them another, and this is what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just giving you other things to look at that your doctor won't tell you. I'm not telling you to go to it, and that's going to keep going. That's what I want to talk YouTube. That's going to keep going. I'm still going to talk about weightlifting. I'm still going to talk about health and nutrition. Wow, that went off on me. Bat manufacturers out there trying to cut me off. I'm still going to talk about all the things. That didn't quit. I'm still going to talk about that shit, you know, about health and nutrition, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. All that stuff is still going to be there. Thanks, brother. You know, and guys not healing fast enough, and guys that, you know, that don't understand why. You know, supplements you should be taking to heal. Inflammation, supplements you can be taking for inflammation. That's not going to quit. That's still going to go on YouTube, on that new channel, which is a short Porch channel now. I changed it over. And if guys, you want to drop off that's fine. If I'm not giving you any information, that's fine. But it wasn't all about the reviews. It was actually all about getting you guys quality of life back. You ladies, quality of life back. Go down and check your thyroid. Go hormone level. If you got to get on hormone replacement therapy, go ahead and do it. That's what I wanted to do. This is making too much over here. It's my computer going on and off. So that's what I did it for, guys. The bats, just, you know, just telling the truth on the bats. I mean, I started doing it and I got criticized for doing it, but I kept doing it. I didn't bend the knee. You know, I have so much. I have so much, like a lot of you guys know. How do you know these numbers I'm going to give you here in a minute? How do you know these numbers? I have 2 of these. How do you know about every bat the way they perform? How do you know about weight distribution? For one, it was a theory that had years ago, you know, thinning of the handle, stuff like that. So what I did was I started collecting data for 15 years, and I put it in a hard drive. I have 2 of these, right? And I get that information. Workout routines are in here too. Testing, see how far I can hit the ball. When I changed my workout routine when I was 30 years old to 35, I changed my workout routine. I have a different workout routine than everybody else. Everybody else talks about lifting mass, big mass. Oh, no, it's lifting light, not light. 40% of your max, 50% of your max in off season, 60% of your max in off season, and then during the season, go 40% of your max and doing explosive movements. That's what I preach. I'm not talking about getting up there and see how much weight you can lift. I haven't lifted big weight in 35 years. But I'm still big, you know? So that's going to keep going. That's the reason that I know a lot of this stuff. But I'm going to give you guys, and I know I don't need to, because I got Adam coming on here in a minute. I know I don't need to be, you know, but the podcasts are going to be a little different. The podcast is going to be a little different. I'm going to bring on different people I'm going to bring on people that talks about health and nutrition. Murray Williams is a 70-year-old player that is a freak, and the guy has had operations on his body, and I don't want to give it away because I want people to tune in. And you guys that out there are doing any kind of hip replacement or knee replacement and stuff like that, Murray's the guy to talk to about where he's been and where he's been and how he got there. He's 71, I think, is what they said. Hell of a hitter. I want to bring him on. I want to bring a lot more, and my wife told me this the other day, is bring a lot more of the older seniors that actually not necessarily other, because I'm not doing any more back companies. I'm not advertising for any more back companies. That's gone. I'm not doing that anymore. It's going to be mainly talking to Adam. Well, maybe a few of the bat review guys that I respect that are out there and they're doing this, that put in the work. The podcast, you know, that's going to be different. It's going to be Matt Barnes. I'll bring a lot of the guys throwing the tournaments on, you know, and have them talk about their tournaments. Not really into anybody, but just basically getting the word out and talking about things. But that's all. The only thing that's changed, I'm not going to be talking about other people's bats, which I'm going to tell you something here too. What you saw in me for the last 15 years has changed. I'm not going to be that guy who's talking about any bat company. I'm not going to be trashing any bat company. So if you come up to me and tell me, what do you think about this bat? I ain't going to say shit, because I'm not going to do that. I'm out of that. I'm through done it. Have somebody else do that shit. Don't come to me and ask me about Joe Blow bat company that just came up. I'm not going to tell you. Right? I'm not in this to trash other people. You know, we're going to work on a product, from what I hear. We're going to work on a product that's going to sell itself. We'll work on a lot of things that are going to sell themselves. And I don't have to get up there and trash them to make us look good. I'm just telling you, that's not me. I don't do that. So you don't have to worry about me trashing your bats anymore, because I'm not doing it. I'm going to talk about health, nutrition. I'm going to talk about what Short Porch has coming out. I'm going to do a lot of videos on Short Porch. I'm going to have a lot of videos. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Michael. I'm going to talk about a lot of the Short Porch bats that are coming out, and do not really a review, because it's not really a review. We're going to tell you, me and Clem and Trey, and then I have another group of people that are going to do U-trip bats. So my son, Kyle, left-hander, hits U-trip. So he's going to come in, and we're going to do video on all the U-trip bats too. So I have a crew coming in for that, and basically just giving you guys input on how the bat performs. That's what we're going to do. Whenever I met, like you guys know, if you don't look at the last podcast, whenever they came down and they met with me, and then they sat down, and I already knew what kind of product they have. That's Leslie and Jeff, and I know Christian. He'll probably chime in here in a minute. I know he has a lot to do that, because I talked to him about a year ago in Florida for about 3 hours in the parking lot. So I know where these guys think. And what's up, Matt? I know how these guys think. So I almost feel like that was an interview with me, especially listening to them talk. Well, when they got down here, I didn't know what to expect, and then they started talking, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh shit. It totally surprised me on their thought process, because I had already told them I was going to go with them, and their thought process. So they opened up to me and started talking about what they do and how they do it, and I'm sitting there going, shit. This is a good company, you know, it really is. And I'm not just blowing smoke because I'm with them. I never would have made this jump if I did not think that I could make an impact for one, and if this is a good company for two. And they have different types of material that's better than a lot of other material out there. I'm not going to go far in talking about it. I go as far as I can, but I won't go that far when I'm talking about it. So let me talk about, you know, like I was talking a minute ago about seeing, well, actually I was talking to somebody about seeing different sides of people. When I stopped doing this, and this is the sad part, when I stopped doing this, I saw a different side in people. Um, I saw ugliness in this industry. And I knew there was, but there wasn't any to me because of the position that I was in and the platform that I had. And I didn't know it was this bad. You know, people that said that they were friends of mine, and then all of a sudden I get no phone calls at all, you know, on a decision that I made for me, you know, not for them. I made this decision for me because I didn't want to do this the rest of my life. I wanted to make an impact on senior softball, right? I wanted to make an impact because I had minions out there. I had minions, right? And I knew, you know, with doing this with the minions, and they helped me out through the years too, is I knew from the feedback that these minions, I'm gonna give you some numbers. Let me give you some numbers, guys. I've been doing this for 15 years, from 2009, 2024. Bat companies I've dealt with, 32 of them. Bat models, 412. And if you guys haven't seen this, but if you're on Facebook, you've actually seen this. Bat models, 412 bat models. Numbers of swings I've taken in 15 years, 200,000 swings I've taken on a variety of bats out there. So I get a little bit of a feel for a bat when I've swung it that many times. That's how come I can put reviews out there, because of that. Number of subscribers, you guys, 8,830. Number of views in 15 years, 7,121,750. That's 7 million views, guys, in 15 years. Watch time, 568. Views per month, 60,000 views per month I average. And at the beginning it was slow, and I took off at the end. Let me tell you the biggest thing out of that I got, okay? The response that the minions gave me on how to better a product. And it could be something to do with the paint job, putting names or putting different things on the paint job, you know? It could be something with, hey, we don't know what bats there is. Can you do something? What's the serial number on it? So what I did was I put a lot of those, and I didn't just not listen to them because I had no control over that. I didn't have a bat company. I had this though. So every suggestion you guys gave me, I wrote it down, I put it in there. You know, wrote it on the computer and I downloaded onto that. Definitely right. But I listened to you guys. I talked about my theory. I talked about y'all's theory. I added them in there. But the feedback, I was saying, I've got in there about 1,500 feedback, just messages for 15 years behind the scenes where, why don't they do it like this? Why don't they do it like that? And I said, you know, that wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, can't talk about it because bat companies have listened to me. Guys, you got to admit that. They have listened to me for 15 years, you know. So, the minions, the guys that actually listen to what I have to say and go out and test that theory out for themselves. You know, hey, I have a diminishing bat speed. I'm going to pick up a softer barrel. Holy shit, that works. Hey, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Hey, it works. Damn, I feel good. Guy met 75 years old the other day. Told me about how it's changed their life. That's more, I get more out of that than I do the bat reviews. So that's going to keep going. That's going to keep going on YouTube. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to go. And here's another thing too, guys. I can sit there and preach about weightlifting programs, but unless you see me in the gym and actually performing those weightlifting, you're going to think, oh shit, all he's doing is talking and talk. You know, he's not out there showing us anything. You know, y'all guys have seen it though. I mean, I post pictures of it, and half the guys said that was Photoshop, but I'm going to have to get out there and get into the gym and videotape me, because I do get in the gym, but just videotape me doing that. So that is actually what I'm going to start doing more of, plus doing what I do now. I actually work remote. I get on Skype, Zoom, and I talk to Jeff and Leslie and Christian, talk to him and Lamont, and then we brainstorm. And dude, to have what I was when I came on this, and I talked to Jeff about this the other day, is you have three guys that are engineers. You have three people, two guys and one girl that are engineers. And what I actually give to them is that this number right here, 200,000 swings on all kinds of bats. That's what I bring to the table, plus other things too that I'll talk about later. But it's actually, like I talk about, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So I will be a link in that chain, because they've got three strong ones right there that I listen to them, and they're trying to convince me, and I said, guys, you had me at hello. Right when I walked in the door, I'm ready. I know I've already talked to you. I know what you can bring to the table, and I think I can help that out. I'm gonna run things by them, and they can either say yes or no. And they're gonna run things by me, and I say that wouldn't be a bad idea. I think this would work too. And then Christian brainstormed, like he told me, I can't wait to talk to him, and actually, brainstorm. I like doing that. I like talking. My brain goes 100 miles an hour anyway. You know how many times I woke up in the last 7 days in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, writing stuff down? Damn near every night, because I don't want to forget it. Oh, that ain't right. They serve a purpose, Rick. All of my guys serve a purpose. And he does. He's my right-hand guy, actually. Clem's my left-hand guy. There you go. They serve a purpose. They help me out. Those guys help me out. They help me, like I told him the other day when we were eating. We were eating. I need to quit reading that stuff. We were eating the other day, and I told them, guys, I wouldn't be here without you guys actually push me to think about different things that we can look at. I'm done with that one. Hang on, I got the back. The one thing I have doing all these reviews is, when you're doing it for such a long time as I've been doing it, getting 200,000 swings, you actually notice flaws in bats. So I have that on that, and this is not, here's another thing too. This is something that's going to carry Short Porch into the future. This is something that I've heard, or I've seen, or I've tested in 15 years that I go, why did they do that? It doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. Maybe they can do this. I just never had a bat company to go to actually test that theory on, right? The bro science. Because the theory is, the science is, they're putting something out there that passes on a tester when they shoot a ball into it, and I'm bro science, right? I grab it and I test it. That's bro science, because there's my test, and I've had this before, because they show me the test. That test blew away every other bat company out there, but I picked it up and swung it. I'm like, it's good, but it's not blowing everybody away. So that's what I'm bringing to the table here. And I'm not going to sit there. Oh, wow. I will tell somebody that, but it'll be when after Adam comes out, I'll tell somebody that. He was asking me, what's the advice that I would give somebody that wants to get in the bat review business? Run as fast as you fucking can, and don't do it. You either got to have thick skin, all right? Take the criticism that you're going to get, and you got to have deep pockets. That's another thing too. You got to be able to reach in your pocket and buy bats, because the first time that you put a bad review out on a bat, you're no longer getting bats delivered to you. When you stop being an advertiser, when you stop advertising for their bat company, you get shunned, right? You don't get anything. If you want to know, if you really want to know, I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. If you really want to know, call me behind the scenes. Call me when I can talk to you one-on-one. Because I said I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm just telling you what I dealt with for 15 years. It was hard. It was hard. Your body breaks down. Your back gives out. You've got to constantly go to chiropractor. You've got to constantly get injections. You got to constantly watch your health. You got to constantly lift weights, which actually benefited me in the long run. 64 years old the other day. and I can still get out there and run around, run bases. I've got a torn quad that looks like shit. If you look at it, it's got a big ball on it. I've got torn ligaments all around. I mean, but it's a grind, man. It's a grind. Not too many people. Look at the bat, man. Look at the bat review guys out there that are doing this. They stay in for a couple of years and they're like, I can't do this no more, man. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to, because to really do a review, you got to break that bat in 100, 150 swings. Then you got to come out, right? And you got next week, you've got to do different. You got to break it. You got to see where it's going to have its peak, and then you got to see where it's going to have its depth, right? How many swings at that? You got to write all that down. I wrote all that down right here. I didn't tell you guys about it. Yes, he was. But then again, think about it. That's a badass product too. And I told him he can't be an advocate for them, Rick, because he said he's a great advocate for Short Porch. But I understand that. But he was telling us something we already knew. But doing a bat review, you can't have that. You can't have that guy that keeps talking. And Craig didn't. He would talk a little bit about it, but other than that was a good bat. It's a good bat. The Wig Popper, Red Wig Popper, was a good bat. So yes, he was. But we knew it. We actually joked with him about it. You guys see behind the scenes, we joked with him about it. But to do this for such a long period of time, you gotta have thick skin for one, because you're gonna get criticized, especially if you do bad reviews. I would say, keep at it, keep doing it, and don't fucking lie. Do not lie, because you guys can see that shit, right? Because you guys pick that bat up. You guys pick that bat up and swing it, and you're gonna go, God damn, I can't swing this bat. This bat's like for a 100-mile-an-hour guy. How come he didn't say that in review? That I'm just telling you, don't lie, because you can see somebody that's gonna lie, or somebody's just pushing their agenda. You guys can see that shit. So that's the advice that I would give to somebody out there, guys. Facebook, exactly. Facebook has changed. I gotta actually, what I post all of my videos on is Facebook. I have a Short Porch group page on there that you guys can get on. I've got Instagram. I'm doing TikTok now. Everything's going to be Short Porch. I'm doing TikTok, and there's going to be a lot of advertising. I call it advertising. It's not going to be bat reviews, because I said this in the past. I'm going to stick by it. You can't have somebody that works for a company or it's got a signature bat that does reviews on their bat. It's advertising for a good product, and I'll call it advertising, promoting. So basically that's what we'll be doing, is promoting on a good product. Tell you guys and kind of get you guys educated, spread the knowledge on what Short Porch is best for you. Because the one thing about Short Porch that a lot of bat companies out there is they have a variety of bat swings, flex points, non-flex handle. They got all that you can dial it in, and we're just going to swing them and say, this bat this is what it does. This bat better fits my swing. This bat better fits Murray's swing, which tomorrow Murray's coming in, and we're going to put Murray in a bat that I think fits his swing, which is the Brewtown. Because Murray has that 95, 100-mile-an-hour bat speed at 70 years old. Got a lot of torque in it too. It's got a lot of weight transfer. So that, I think that too, and I can put him in a bat. Somebody talked to me the other day, and he's mad because Headbanger will not give him his bat. He cracked a wig popper, a red wig popper. He's supposed to be sending it to me. And he was bitching and moaning about Short Porch. I said, where'd you buy the bat from? He goes, and I kind of got in there. I bought it at a tournament from Headbanger, and they won't honor the receipt. Okay. And then I said, can you send it to me? Let me look at it. I want to see how many swings he got on. He said he used it in one tournament. And I'm talking to him, and I go, what's your bat speed? He goes, you got a wig popper, right? What's your bat speed? 100 miles an hour. And I go, oh shit. I'd have never, you don't watch my channel, do you? I'd have never put you in that bat. You get up there, and I would have put you in, that Brewtown, because it's a better bat that fits your swing. It's that high bat speed, and I'm like, I'd never put you in that bat. I want to see it. I'm not promising anything, but I want to see the bat. Okay, now he's still talking all nice to me on the phone, because I'm telling him that I never would put you in that bat. You walk up there. So I want to educate everybody when you're picking out a bat. You know, the one thing is, I'm not gonna. Don't call me about another bat company. I'm not gonna talk to you about what's soft on their barrel, what's hard on their barrel. I'm with Short Porch now. A lot of those other guys. This is another thing too. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. You bat companies out there, don't be mad, because a lot of you guys could have did the same thing Short Porch did, and you didn't. Why? Because you were getting it for free for 15 years. And I'm not trying to be a dick here. Why do you think everybody's going to 34-inch bats instead of 33 and a half? Why do you think everybody's going to weight distribution? You know, less handle weight, more in weight. Y'all guys could have did it. Y'all guys could have called me up, offered me a job, but you didn't. Short Porch did it. And I jumped on the opportunity because I want to make a fucking impact. I want to make an impact. And I'm not going to talk negative going from here on about bat, because I never called out a bat company, you know, and talk shit to them about them and doing this, you know. But I want to go make an impact. I want to change. I want to, the way I think. Guys, you got to be here for a long time. I want to change it the way I think, you know. And because I do have, and I do think it works, because I've read the science and I've done the bro testing. So I think this is something that's going to benefit a lot of seniors. Now, you 35, 40-year-old guys ain't going to get this shit. You're not going to get it. You have 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. But wait till you get in your 60s. Wait till you get 55. And then come back and tell me that you can't no longer swing that harder barrel bat, right? You can't swing it no more. Can't swing it no more, right? Oh, let's go back and watch some old bat review. Oh, shit, he took them all down. They're all gone. I don't know if you guys noticed that. All my bat reviews are gone. They're archived, but they're gone. You know, you can't no longer gain any knowledge. I work for a company now. You can't gain any knowledge off of me and put it in your own product and call it your fucking own. Been doing that for 15 years. Can't do it no more. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm really not. But don't sit there and get mad at something that you had an opportunity to do and you didn't do it. And I thank you for it, because look where I'm at. With a damn good company. Oh. Okay, I'm done. I think Adam's gonna come over in a minute. I'll kind of talk about shit. I kind of went off there, but nothing's, you know, nothing stopped with the health, nutrition, TRT replacement, and weights. I'll still be preaching that, you know, forever, about you guys need to get out there and get your testosterone checked. All of you guys, I will recommend this too. A lot of you guys that actually try to debunk my theory, or try to talk about heavy bats compared to light bats, and I've been doing this for 45 years, talking about that. Billy Blake taught me back in the day. Okay, you guys talk about heavier bats matching lighter bats, and the pros will tell you about this. Billy Blake swung a 26-ounce end-loaded bat. 26 ounces, and he was one of the longest home run hitters in the top 3 in the nation during his prime. The longest home run hitters. Carried high batting averages. Are you going to ask to come on, Adam? So, and when you try to talk, I've seen what Billy did. I've seen what he did. By the door. I need to quit reading you guys shit. They're already developing, Stacy, they're already developing a ladies bat that actually I heard about the specs on it, and that is going to be a good bat. Very soft barrel. I actually will swing that bat when it comes out. I will swing that bat when it comes out. I want to try to get, and I can't find him. That's a guest request. I don't want to do that. And I hope you guys can see me still. There you go. They do have a, and it might be out. It might be out before. There he is. It might be out before Vegas. Adam, I sent you an invite, and then it might be out before Vegas, Stacy. And then here he comes. What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Man, how you doing?
Yeah, I see you now.
Yes, sir.
Is that your microphone on your ear right there, on your hat?
Yeah, I use a microphone.
Somebody was asking me, this is the funny part, I don't know when you want to get into this, but somebody was asking me what would the advice that I would give them if they wanted to be a bat review person, and I was like, don't do it.
Yeah,
And how
your girlfriend don't get pissed.
your girlfriend's
No.
oh man, the wife was
Yeah.
mad at me all the time. You know, answering phone calls, talking to people. What's the best bat? How did you get started doing this?
Now when I first started out, I was a rep for Smashing Sports, and I thought, you know what, as a rep, I should start doing bat reviews. And then I didn't do real well, so I kind of quit and got away from it. And then when COVID hit, I said, let's do it again. And me and my son just went out there on the field, started doing it. I had no idea what I was doing, but I thought it was cool. And when I was younger, I was in high school, I wanted to go into radio and TV broadcasting, and that was what I wanted to go into. I mostly wanted to do radio, and I was like, well, maybe this is my chance, you know. So I started doing YouTube and stuff, and it started slowly climbing. I was starting to get a little bit of love, but I love hitting. And everybody used to come to me and ask me about bats because I did reps, and I was a big bat nerd. I just always liked bats. I was a bat nerd, so everybody used to come to me and ask me about bats. What do you think is bat? And I would kind of give them information, and I mean, then I turn it into the channel. So I said, well, why not? So
that's when you got everything rolling. But were you buying your own bats at the beginning?
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Basically, what I would do, and I didn't put out as many as I do now, but I'd get a bat, and I was hoping basically when I was kind of doing, I was still a rep doing it, but also, hey, if I buy a bat, I'll review it, and if it's good, maybe guys will buy it through me. But if it's not, then whatever. But and then I would turn around and sell the bat and try to buy in on another bat. But the problem was when you sold a used bat, you weren't getting the same amount of money back you just paid for it. So you were always losing your ass.
Yes,
so,
always in the hole.
But yeah.
And then if you had a camera go out, you had to buy a camera. Your tripod. You had to buy a tripod. Then you buy the cheap tripod and it doesn't last as long. Then you got to buy a pitching screen. Which at the beginning nobody knows who you are, so you charge you $325, $330 for a pitching screen. So you try to barter with them, hey, I'll put you up on the website. And they're looking at you like, no, I'm not going to do that. So you pay cash for it, or you pay with a credit card. I was lucky enough to have a wife that had a very good job, and we had deep pockets. But that has changed in the last 2.5 years where, dude, I didn't have deep pockets anymore. And luckily I had the platform where I can get bats from people. Or I did the same thing you did. I would actually get bats in, and then I'd turn around and sell them on eBay and get my money off eBay. And then turn around and sell 2 bats and get 1. So that's the way I kind of kept out of the wife's purse.
And that was the only way you could do it. But you were always in the hole, paying shipping, and then guys would always, I don't know, man. It was a pain in the butt. And then like sometimes if you sold like a used bat, like I did a lot of USSA stuff. The warranty wouldn't transfer over, and now it'd be an issue. So I still lose my tail on it. It was also, I love to hit. I always loved to hit. Even when I wasn't playing, I just go out there and hit. I used to tell my girl, I was like, if I ever quit softball, I'll still just go hit because I just like doing it and stuff. I mean, even when I first started playing softball, the one thing about softball hitting is you can always get better. You cannot master it. I mean, some people are better than others, but there's always something you can do better. And I used to keep a notebook, like a little hitting diary. And I'd always just work on my swing, and I'd write down this. And I would keep up with how I hit in the game, who was pitching. It sounded dumb as hell, but I did it all the time because I was such a nerd at it. And it just meant that much to me. I mean, I always wanted to get better. I always wanted to hit. And I didn't necessarily, I didn't want the recognition or anything. I just wanted to be better, and I wanted to, contribute to my team, of course. And, it was just, I'd go through the bats. I'd say, hey, this is what bat I was using. This is what the temperature was that day. This is what weight bat I was swinging, who was pitching, how the wind was, just the situation in the game. And I would just keep it. I mean, I still got these journals. I bet you I got like 20 of those little things laying around still that I used to use. But I would do stuff like that. And then now when I got into the bat review, it was a whole nother area to go into that I could do this again and just go into bats.
See, what about, you have to do the same thing with balls too. People don't understand that. You've got to hit cases. You got to get cases of balls to get out there and hit, and you got to pay for those. Because nobody wants to give you any free balls, dude. Do not want to. You got to buy them at the beginning. And once your platform starts to get a little higher, You know what they do is you get notarized, so people go, hey, I'll send you a case of balls or whatever, and then that's great. You know, you're gonna put the ball in the front of your
Yeah.
thing and everything, but that's great. But balls you got to pay for them. They ain't cheap. And balls are,
Man, they're as much as a bat now.
yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, they're like, you know, half the price of a bat half the time. So, and then you're always losing them. You know, and if you know, you hope you don't get them wet. And if they get wet or if they hit the fence and get cut, you know,
that's or hit the parking lot. Yeah, or get stolen.
Yep.
That happens a lot, where people are just starting to stay.
Yeah.
Or even if they're under trees and you can't get to them or you can't see them, you kind of leave them there and they're lost. They're lost, you know, unless they mow the grass and you kind of find them. Who does all your editing for you? That's another thing too that we tell people too about the editing part. You gotta.
I do all my editing, and I actually do everything on my phone. Like, I don't use a computer. I didn't buy a program. I do everything on my phone. People, you know, Jesse, the VP hero, he always says, I cannot believe you do your stuff on your phone. I say, yeah, but I say, it's how I know how to do it. I could do it on a computer, and everybody says it'll be faster. To me, it's faster on a phone. But doing it on the phone, I mean, it's already there, so it's in my phone and stuff like that. But man, I had to teach myself how to do this, because like, this is the technology world. There's so much stuff you can do, but I've had to just go in and just learn the stuff myself, teach myself. I have a lot of guys, you know, that you know, taught him, because I reached out to Johnny Bailey one day, and I said, dude, you need to do some hitting instruction. I said, you really need to do some stuff. I said, I know you do your classes, but I said, you put something online, man. I said, you get a really big following. And he goes, man, he said, I just don't know how to do, you know, the editing and stuff. And I said, yeah, that's understandable. I said, but I said, I'll tell you, Johnny, I said, if you're willing to put in the work or something like that, you can do it. And that's not that Johnny Bailey's not. I mean, that dude works his ass off. He's a phenomenal hitter. Yeah. But I was like, I had to teach myself. I said, I can help you along the way and stuff. And I tried to find the cheapest route possible of doing everything. I mean, even down to like my tripod. I mean, I had a tripod made out of PVC pipe with a pool noodle, and I was using that because you just had a small budget, and then I kind of worked it up where I've got, you know, a real tripod, but man, expensive. Oh my goodness, the time it takes away from you.
Yes.
And it hurts your hitting because you change so many different factories. You change so many different load bats.
Whenever I did my last video, you chimed in and talked about that, and I wanted to address that. Tell me what you said the other day about the hitting. Just go through that thing about the hitting.
There's so many different loads. You're always trying different bats, and there's different companies. Different companies load their bats different. Their bats feel different. The handle flex and stuff, and you go from a flexi handle to a stiff handle, and you're back and forth. Or if you just go a week and I say, hey, this week I'm swinging this stiff handle bat, and then you go in the game and like I like the blue wick popper. I was swinging that, and I'd go in the game and I was like, oh my God, now I feel the flex. And I felt like if I turned on the ball, you know, and I'm gonna try to pull it down the line, I wasn't hitting it right compared to that stiff handle I was swinging, you know, previously in the week. So it just really screws you up. Like I said, the loads, the handles, the barrel widths, the barrel lengths, hand weight, everything. I mean, it just messes with you, man.
Okay. Here's a question to you, because I've been through all this. I'm just going to ask you, what do you do when leading up to a tournament? What do you do? In other words, how do you prepare?
I don't do a review that week.
You don't.
I won't do a review that week.
Yeah.
I'll just say I'm gonna hit all around. Like, and I have not been playing a lot, which has helped the Bat Review channel. But I haven't been able to play a lot because I've got a little bit of a bad will. But I think the last tournament, honestly, I played with was a year ago with Jeff. And that whole week, all I did was go out there and I said, I'm swinging just one bat. That's all I'm going to swing. And that's what I'll do. I won't review anything that week. Or if I'm playing league ball, same way. I mean, but I have to get my swings in with a bat. You know, I'm so nuts about my bat, but like I don't care if dudes on my team swing my bat, right? But if you hit in front of me and you want to use my bat, that drives me crazy. Because I want my bat when I'm in the on-deck circle.
Yes.
Because I want that feel. I want it in my hands. And it's the same way as leading up to the week. You want that same bat. You don't want to switch back and forth between bats and stuff because you just want that same bat. And you want it to be, it's not the bat's problem, it's Adam's problem. So, you know, you want it to be, Adam be the reason I'm not hitting, not because of the bat. So.
Yeah, it's tough whenever you're going into a tournament. We usually hit our gamers going into a tournament. And you're right, we don't do any kind of picking up bats because of that muscle memory. We don't want to mess that up. And then do a review that week. You know, a lot of guys out there don't understand what it takes to do this because of the handle flexes on a lot of these bats, weight distribution numbers. You know, you
Yeah.
got what they don't understand is 12-inch barrel, swinging a 13-inch barrel, you know, 12 and a half inch barrel, 14-inch barrel, because remember back in the day, I have 14-inch barrels too that came out, and just swinging
Yeah.
all of that because it changes everything. You can change the barrel length and it's going to change everything on the weight distribution numbers for one, and then how that bat flexes for two. You know, so yeah, it's been tough through the years to actually try to do that, and I'm so happy. Like I said the other day, you had mentioned it on that podcast, and I go, here's the deal about that. I'll be swinging short porch, which has basically within 2/10, 3/10 of an ounce, the same hand weight when they're going up and down in weight, and I can do that. You know, I just couldn't jump down like somebody had a 11 on the hands, and then like the
Yeah.
balance bats, you know, 11 on the hands and have 17-ounce end load, and then go to 17-ounce end load, have, you know, 7.5 at one time on the hands with another bat manufacturer had 7.5. So you're like up there going, I got to get used to it. You know, I
Yeah.
got to get
Well,
used to
you
the way.
change. You alter your swing too. You will alter your swing with certain bats. Like
Definitely.
if you get a bat that's got a lot of head, you know, head. It's like a sledgehammer. Not a little. You'll kind of drop your hands a little bit. Now I rest the bat on my shoulder. It was a but something I learned. I started doing because of all the pitching that used to pump fake. Because I was like with my hands. So now I said, no, I'm just gonna put it on my shoulder. It gets to the peak, you know, the highest peak of the thing, and then I'm gonna go. But the one thing is like when there's certain things with the swing, I'll drop my hands with certain bats because there's not a lot of hand weight. Now, if you got a lot of hand weight, I'll stay a little bit more level. But I mean, that's just for me though. But the other thing too is like with the different bats too. Of course, body type is a big deal. You know, I got short arms. I don't have, you know, and every bat swings different for every people. Like taller guys, in my opinion, and I've talked to Jeff numerous times about this. They swing the flexi handles better to me.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm a short, compact person, and I mean, of course, I'm a fat guy, but like my arms are short, and the flexi handle, and I do push in my swing. Now I've kind of gotten away from it because I've tried to switch my grip, but you know, with this different, you know, the flexier handle is tougher on me, and that makes a difference. So because if I'll sit there, man, and go a week long, and I'm swinging this stiff handle bat and switch over to the flex handle bat, and I'll be like, man, I'm really liking this barrel. I'm liking this barrel. And then it'll trick you. You go in the game. I said, I'm gonna swing this in the game, and I go to a tournament. You go, dude, this bat is not for me. And even though I thought I could hit it good during BP, but I just knew it wasn't. You know, I didn't set myself up for success, and that's what you do sometimes with bat reviews, because you'll go in a review and I say, man, I really like this bat, but you're going to a game and you can't hit it well. You're not gonna be able to pull the ball as well with a flexi handle because your timing's got to be a little bit more precise. And that's kind of like what I would, and that's why I've always said, like, this is why like I said, what you say, Dave, is you want to set someone up for success at the plate. You don't want them to, hey, go in BP, because what you do in BP and what you do in a game is different. And, you know, and you say, hey, because sometimes, I mean, I don't think people mention this enough, or what kind of hitter are you, too? And I know that a lot of people try to stay away from that, but I'm going to say, hey, dude, where are you trying to go with the ball? Are you going to pull the ball, or are you going to go to the middle? You know, and I've seen different guys. I've heard so many different theories and stuff, and you can give them a little bit of a jab and say, hey, maybe go this way or something like that. And you ask them what they swing. You ask them what, you know, weights they swing, what end loads they swing. And I'm rambling here, I know, but man, there's just so much knowledge and stuff, and so much stuff you mess around with. And we swung between, you know, like me and you, we've swung everything. You know, and especially you. I mean, you swung more bats than anybody probably, and you know the different styles. You know when you get in a situation, and you know what kind of hitter you are, and it does matter. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say a line drive hitter cannot hit a super end-loaded bat, because they can. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But you got to know what you're good at, too.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes people don't know that.
That's exactly 100%. But that's because of I'm around a bunch of guys too that you're talking about stiff handles and flexi handles. I don't know if you saw the video today. I kind of explained it a little bit. Where
Yeah,
I thought Charlie had asked me, how can you tell the difference in a stiff handle or a flexi handle? And I thought I didn't hear if you're not swinging it. So I started going to, I can tell on inside pitches where I'm torquing on it and it gets a little lag in it, a little bit of a lag in it. I'm not talking about bending. I'm talking about it gets a little lag and you tend to go over the top of the ball and hit it into the ground.
Yeah.
That's how I can tell. And he goes, no, without, unless you know about bats. Well, the way I check it is I step on it. So I have so much pounds of pressure that I can put on a bat, and I've been doing this for a long time because I can tell. Oh shit! Look at the barrel. It's not like I can just barely put pressure on it, and I know that I get a good flex out of it. Okay, that's a flexy handle. But I'll set, like today I set yours on the ground and I go, look, see how it's tight? That's how you can tell without. And I know a lot of players. This is the bad part about it. You can't go to a tent and say, hey, give me that bat. I want to see. Oh, no, I know what you're telling me, but let me grab it. You throw it on the ground, you step on it, the guy's going to go crazy. Go, what are you doing? You can't do that. So how do you know unless you find somebody that has one and kind of give a little pressure on that handle or even swing it? But you're right. You want to put somebody in a bat in game situations, not BP. Because it all changes. Maybe you got a torque on an inside pitch that you got 2 strikes on, and you got to hit it because it's going to hit the top of the plate. And if it's got too flexy of a handle, you're going to roll right over the top of it and make an out. So that's another thing too. Like I can talk to you about that, and you get it. Like you understand where we're coming from, and you can tell me about it, like you did the other day when I was talking about something, and I said, okay, okay, yeah, he knows. He's been there. He swung all these bats too, and you get a feel for it. Talk a little bit about your bat that you have. This is it right here, right? Yeah.
I was talking to Jeff one day. Me and Chad Malott, the guy that hits do our senior bat reviews. We were hitting the blue wig popper. We were going through some bats, and I told, so the next time I talked to Jeff, I said, dude, I'll tell you what, Jeff. I said that blue wig popper is a great bat. It's one of the top bats I've swung this year. And I said, but the only thing I change in it is I stiffen the handle up. And then Jeff, he taught me into, he said, he didn't talk me into it. He said, hey, well, let's make you a bat then. Let's do a bat. And I said, let's go with it. And I was like, cool. And then I slept on it. Well, I didn't really sleep, but all I did was think about the bat. And then I said, you know what? Because Jeff, if you've ever swung a short porch bat, they got a little bit more junk in the trunk than most.
Yeah.
So even their balanced bats have a little bit more junk in the trunk. So I was thinking short porch thought process, and I said, let's go with a 1/4 ounce end load, and I know it's going to be heavier, and it might be about the same as most people's 1/2 ounce end load. And if you scale my bat, honestly, it's close to it. It's close to, like, say, the bigger brands end loads, and that's kind of my thought process behind it. But I also knew it wasn't so heavy that I couldn't control it. I'm more about control. I want to be able to control my bat, so that's why I went with a stiffer handle and with not such a heavier end load. But I still got that 12-inch barrel, which I don't know what it is, but I don't hit the short barrel 2-piece as well, but the 1-pieces I hit, they're a better bat for me. But with that 12-inch barrel too, I can get a little bit more whip. But with the whip, I'm not getting that flexy handle either.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like that barrel is lagging behind, but it's not going to lag behind either because I don't have all that end load in there too.
Definitely. Like I'm going to give numbers here. This is on a 26 ounce. You got 17 on the end, 9 on the hands. Now this is a different load than all the other. I'm not going to name out bat companies anymore, but the bat companies have different kind of in the hand weight. Like they have different. This is short porch's 1/4 ounce end load. And when I looked at it, I go, okay, he dialed it in. You dialed it in really good and gave Jeff the numbers and tell him what you wanted. He dialed it in really good. So when we got it, it was the one thing that I don't know if you check compression on yours, but we checked the compression on this today. We're going to hit it again tomorrow. It's got that, and you hear the video when I was talking about it today. It's got that forgiving barrel, like in the red wig popper. I'm not talking about the other ones. I'm talking about the red wig popper, not the white one and not the gray one. The red wig popper. It's got that same barrel. It's forgiving, and it's got a stiffer handle. So what I saw yesterday was I can turn on the inside pitch. I can hit 5.60. I can hit those line drives over the infield.
Yeah.
But did you see and did you hear me call you a liar on Facebook Live the other day?
Well, yeah, and I did, but that's what I was trying to say. Like my buddy Chad that hits with me, he's a power hitter, but he can hit it. He'll cut the ball, whatever. But he's like me. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like the flex in the handle. But his gamer is that baby blue wig popper. It has got some flex in that handle, not a lot, but it's just got a little bit of flex. But I wanted that bat. Just to say, you take a Chad or a Richard Clem, and you say, hey man, turn on this. and they don't have to change their swing. They can swing as hard as they want with that bat, and it's not going to affect their performance. And that's what I like about that bat, because I can still go backside. I can go to right center, left center, but when I turn on one, I don't feel that, you know, that bat doing this right here. So
I don't know if you guys saw the video. I think the video today, we didn't talk about it much, but when I heard you talk about it, is you weren't interested in pop. You were more about base hitting, which, believe it or not, a lot of seniors out there, the majority of seniors out there, what they feel comfortable with the plate and hitting those balls, those screamers through the holes on the infield and hitting gaps. They're not worried about hitting bombs, right?
Yeah.
So they can slap it, because I'm more of a slap hitter than I am a home run hitter. If you guys watch me play, I'm a slap hitter. I go for average. I don't go for bombs. So I picked it up and I loved it. Clem, like, he was getting great distance because it has that good barrel, and it still has a little bit of a low, but you went with a 9 on the hands, which actually picks up a little bit more control.
Yeah.
So I know where you were going for this. Where is the proceeds? Like, it's a 12-inch barrel one piece, and it's for your son?
Well, no, actually, I put my son's name on there because he's my son. I mean, I just did it. I said, let's put my son's name on there. But he does play in the Miracle League, and Jeff had reached back out to me about it. He said, hey, let's do something with he said that they missed it on the autism thing this year. And he said, let's do something with your bat with the Miracle League, because he saw my son playing in a video on Facebook. And my son plays in the Miracle League of Franklin County, which is where we live. And we've played in a couple of different ones, but we're at home in this one in Franklin County. He's probably played there, a good 15 years. And but it's a league for special needs kids. I mean, that they can come out there and play t-ball, softball, or baseball. It's basically all softball, but the kids get out there and hit. They have buddies. They have a specialized rubber field for them that's built for them. And it was this. And I know they're trying to build some. I want to say a playground out beside the field for the kids, and this is what I figured this could go toward. And then when I reached out to them, and I've known these people forever, and they were like, they were very super excited about it. And it was cool that, you know, the proceeds from my bat could go to that, which is really neat for me. And and my son, it does indeed help my son also.
Anyway, I think that's great for you doing that, because any way that we can help for doing what you do, you know, and you don't make any money doing this. That's what a lot of people don't understand. And for you to give back to someone in need, you know, because there's so many things out there that we can do, you know, for people, and you giving out, I think that's great, you know, that you do that. And you're just a little bat review guy, you know.
Exactly.
You're just a little bat review guy, you know. You're not a bat manufacturer that's out there. So I commend you for that. That's pretty badass, dude. I love the bat.
Clem asked me the other day, about a week ago, and he said, 3 years ago, did you think you'd have your own bat? And I said, actually, Clem, yeah, I did. I said, I will tell you why. And I said, I thought I was going to work as hard as anybody else to get one, but I would say I knew I was not a ball player. I was not, you know, the guy that my playing ability was never going to give me a bat. I said my platform and working hard was the only way I could do it, and it was a goal of mine. And I mean, I've got many more goals, but the fact that I could do this and then give to the Miracle League, that's even better. And I get a cool ass bat out of it.
But here's the deal too. What I like what you did here, Adam, I'm not going to go too far into this, but you can put a bat, and I think you're probably one of the first guys that did this. You could put a bat in a pro's hand.
Yeah.
He can do anything with it.
Exactly.
Well, your AA and your AAA guys, even some of your major guys, because Major Plus don't listen to me or you, or used to be.
No, they're not.
They don't listen to us. So, because they can pick up anything and swing with it. What you know is you have the knowledge of, hey, I'm not going to cater toward that. I'm gonna cater toward what I see every day on the field, or weekend ball, or league ball. So you're building a bat that no one else has built, and you're making it like the way you like hitting. And I think that will resonate with a lot of seniors out there when they're thinking, like, this guy's not a pro. He's building a bat the way he swings, and I want to swing that bat. That's what I like about what you're doing, because you're actually changing stuff. You know, these people going out there and picking up a pro, and they just get out there and start hitting, and they pick up all these bats, boom, boom, and they just start hitting them. And it's a false sense of bat that these people are going to watch this, and they should not be jumping on that bandwagon. and they go out and buy that bat. That's what I dealt with back in the day, where hey, I seen him hitting this on YouTube, I'm gonna buy one. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna? You're a slap hitter. You think you're gonna hit bombs with that bat? No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do it. But what you did is, I like what you're the first one to do it, was get a bat out there that you liked, that is the majority of hitters, because there's a lot more of us than there is of them.
Yeah.
So they will buy this bat because of that. That's
and you got to kind of sometimes figure out what kind of hitter are you. Are you a table setter or are you a table clear? And I obviously thought, hey, maybe every once in a while I might get a home run, but I'm more of a table setter. And you know, and I want to get you move the runners around, get on base, whatever. And then you got the guy that clears the table. And I'm not that guy. So but I mean, you got to kind of know what kind of hitter you are. So.
But you dialed it in. You dialed it in for both,
Yeah.
right? Because look at Clem, what he did to it. You know, even
yeah,
Charlie
absolutely.
Mueller, when he hit it, exactly, Dennis. Charlie Mueller, when he hit it, he was hitting them as far as he was hitting the other, because it has that barrel. So the way you thought about it, I thought was pretty cool when I saw it and I hit it. And I said, Sid, he's got a good bat here. And even on today's video, you know, the guys were saying, yeah, you got a good bat. Clem was especially excited about it because he can do whatever he wanted to with it. You know, hit it up the middle or hit it as far as he hit it any other bat out there, the wig popper barrel. So
yeah, and I heard Charlie say in the video that he liked the stiff handle. I can tell you this, I love watching that guy hit. He's one of a kind, man.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature. He's one of those guys that he's just a freak. 60, 64, 63, somewhere around there. He stays in the gym.
He's got a nice ring, man.
Yeah, he's just got that. I've known him for years when I used to play against him back in the 80s, but he was an outfielder, ran around all the time, played with some very good teams. Larry's Used Cars here in Texas. But yeah, he's a great hitter, high average hitter. He's having some knee problems, and he's probably going to have his knees replaced, one of his knees replaced in the offseason, which I recommend that he did years ago, because I think that's just something out there that us seniors have to put up with as we get older, is that those joints that actually give out on us, because we've been out there running around all this time. And I think it'll be a replacement for it. I'll talk about that later when I talk to Murray, because Murray's had it done. And if you guys got to get it done, get it done. It keeps you out on the field another. I said this the other day on video. 8 more years he got out of Charlie when he's going to get it done. If he didn't get it done, he'd be done in 2 years. You know what I mean? So anything that he can get out there, but he loved it. He loved the way it hit, and he had a bad elbow today, but he was still yesterday. But he was still lighting it up and hitting it with it. He liked it. He liked the way it. And he does like a stiffer barrel.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my buddy Chad to get back in. He's called me so many times. He's overseas working, and he comes back next week, and he wants so bad to swing this bat. He keeps talking to me about it and stuff like that. So, but no, man, I couldn't ask for a better bat. I love the colors, everything about it. I put my Carolina blue in it, and you know, Richard Clem can go whatever. He's the old Stinky Duke fan. But no, I couldn't be asked for
but you did a hell of a job dialing it in. Got great performance.
And Jeff's always been supportive. I remember the first time I talked to him, man, I reached out to Jeff. I said, hey man, let me review your stuff. And I said, I'll try to help you out as best I can. But I said, I want to read your stuff. And honestly, I loved his first bat. I thought the world of it, but it was for me because it had a stiff handle, but it had a barrel that took a long time to break in, which I like. I like a barrel that takes a long time to break in at that time. And now I'm starting to see why guys don't on certain things. And I did a video a couple weeks ago with some older guys who were 60 plus, and I was talking to them because I was just trying to get a feel of what they want in a bat and what they are looking for. And it did open my eyes a little bit, because it's different for the 40s and 50s. But when you get up to the 60s, it's just completely different.
Definitely.
And these guys could hit it. Do not get me wrong; these guys are phenomenal hitters. But they approach things differently, and that's why. And I'm going to try to work with those guys more, because they can give me some more knowledge on stuff and like hit a different market. Because I get it. Older guys don't want to always listen to me. Because they're going to say, because older people don't want to listen to someone younger all the time. And I get that, and I understand that. But if I can, work on the 40s and 50s and maybe get some of the 60s to listen to me and stuff, hey, that'll be great. But I want to just learn more. I want to hear, more things. And some things have never changed. Some things are the same. I mean, and you go look at Ray DeMarini. Ray DeMarini used to do things back then, man, that are still work today. And that dude, I mean, he's been gone for a while, and he did a lot for this game.
He
And,
did.
I mean, he had a big impact on this game. And, I remember watching his. I'll bet you what, I wore that VHS tape that he had out and was trying that overlap grip, and I never ever went to the overlap grip until this year. And I swear, I was like, "Why am I such a dumbass for not doing that?"
See, I tried.
I used to watch him all the time. Man.
I tried that overlap grip for a year, and I couldn't do it. I just, the way my swing, I guess it was my swing, I lost control. A little bit of control, and I thought I couldn't hit different pitches, and I had to wait for the ball to be over. But it's my swing. I kind of tomahawk a little bit more than everybody else. I just swing with everything around the plate, and you can't do that with that. Because you're not hitting it with any kind of authority.
And he was like you, Dave. He pushed the gym. He was saying, "Hey, you got this game. You provide the power. This ain't baseball. The pitcher's not providing power. We got to provide the power." I mean, a lot of the stuff he says today, he said back then, just still relates today, and it's crazy.
Because he wasn't a tall man. He was small. He was a small guy.
And you said something earlier when you were talking about Billy Blake swinging a 26-ounce bat for being such a bigger guy. And he would get bat speed, but people don't forget. And I was a history nerd. I never saw Ted Williams play, but I read what Ted Williams said, and I think it was The Science of Baseball or Science of Hitting. He put a book out, and I read it. And he said he tested every bat, and he found out the lighter bat was the best way for him to go. And I do think there's an art to hitting, but I also believe there's a science to hitting. And when you can combine them both, man, something can really happen.
Yes, definitely.
He was one of the few that was always swinging the lightest bat out there.
And Billy was hitting him as far. He was one of the top 3 long ball hitters in his prime, with all of Bruce Meade, Mike Masinko, with all those guys, and he was hitting them as far with a 26-ounce in-loaded bat. So that's where I learned how to do that. And I had a bad back growing up, lower back. So I couldn't handle that big mass. So I went the way of Billy, and I started putting little 26-ounce with big mass on the end, like a 17-ounce in load. And then I would swing that. I found out that I got great performance, bat speed, plus great performance because the weight distribution was in the bat. So learned a lot of that stuff from Billy back in the day, and I kind of carried it with me all the way till right now. The one thing that my demographics was, and I hope you take that over, is because I don't see anybody out there that can handle that, is I look at my analytics a lot, like once a week, and my main people that were watching me on YouTube were 60 and 65s. That was my biggest, and then 65s, 60, 65. Then below that was a lot of the older guys, the 75-year-old guys. I got a lot of those. Not much of the 40s. 40s was probably the last because they didn't understand the theory about they can implode a softer barrel bat.
Exactly.
And they didn't get it. They didn't get what I was trying to preach to them. Harder barrel for them guys. That's come. A lot of those guys wouldn't get away from the TPS. I love the TPS. Well, yeah, because you're 40 years old, swinging it, pumping it 100 miles an hour, you can handle that. But put him in a bat that has the weight as a 65-year-old would like, he's going to implode it, he's going to hate it, throw it to the side. Or a flexi barrel. He needs that stiffer barrel with a young 100 mile an hour. So I hope you pick up a lot of those guys because they don't have nowhere to go to now.
Yeah. Oh, and I've started this year. I look at my analytics too, and I've noticed the 60 and olders and stuff. I have started increasing my numbers there. They're not as big as the other, the younger guys, but I have increased my numbers there, which is really cool. Because I'll talk to Chad about it all the time. I say, hey, our analytics are telling me this, and then I'll look and see who's watching me, what state's my biggest follower, or which city. I mean, you can break the analytics are so crazy on there. You can break it down to the city who follows you the most.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it breaks it down to all your age categories, the sex, everything, which men or women are watching you, or whatever. And I think I only got like 3 women that watch me, but hey. It's 3 more women than before, so
the same here. Yeah, my United States was my number 1, and then after that, Canada wasn't even up. Canada was like number 4. Mexico was like number 2. Mexico and then Dominican Republic was number 3. So all those down south. But what I found out whenever I stopped doing it, and you're probably going to be in the next few days, watch your analytics when it comes to subscribers. Because I had a whack, like for the first time in a long time. You know how you can check on how many subscribers? I had a negative. 5 yesterday, 4 the day before, that just want to look at bat reviews, and I have no problem. Y'all guys can do that because you want to gain knowledge about what bat to swing. Get a hold of FatGuy BP, and look at his on the bat reviews, and I think because of his swing mainly, because he's not a pro. He's not out there just blasting it, And I've been watching your channel since the beginning, and just watching everybody there. I'm impressed. I like to hear you talk, which kind of makes sense because you have that background of being in radio and TV, something you wanted to do. But you got to have that gab. You got to be able to talk. That's what a lot of people don't understand is, and you can say this too. I mean, about you got to resonate with people. You got to be able to get up there and talk for hours, or just talk for 5 minutes about a bat, because that's basically how long, 3 to 5 minutes. That at the end you gotta have talking points. You talk during, and that's what I like about you. You went a different angle where you talk during the hitting, and then you come on and talk halfway through it. You'll come up and talk live, not live, but you took a video, and then you go back to hitting again, and you'll check your compression numbers too. And I like that too, on what the compression is going to get at, and then at the end, you check your compression numbers too. But you got to talk. A lot of people don't know how to talk.
I learned a lot from you, especially the scaling of bats. Now, I've always said there's a flaw in our scaling but I've also said, I've asked people, I say, well, then you show me a better way to do it, and then I'll look into it. But nobody's ever, because I've had people attack me on the scaling, the numbers and stuff. And I said, but you show me a better way to do it, and then we'll do it. I said, but until then, I can't buy a MOI, motion, whatever it is. I can't, we can't get our hands on something like that. And I mean, we got to go by feel. We got to, it's bro science, like you said. We got to find our way to do it and be able to relate back to our guys, because you want to cram as much information as you can into a video to help someone else buy a bat. Because you want to know how much it weighs. You want to know what it tests. You want to know how the handle flex. You want to know the load. Is it light? Is it heavy? I mean, there's so much that goes into it. And if you watch our channel enough, you can kind of relate to which hitter. Like, I've always tried to put multiple hitters in there so you could kind of like relate to certain different guys. But watch them, man, and if I'm not relatable, go to a different channel and watch them. But also watch what guys are saying too. Listen to them. Some guys. They need a little bit more work. I ain't gonna lie to you. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yes, but, it takes that. Here's the deal about that too. Like you said, listen to them. You guys want to pick a good bat review person, or you guys want to start doing this, don't bullshit, because people are gonna hear that and they're gonna go away from you. And don't try to trick anybody, because people are gonna see that. And do not lie, because people will see right through a liar, and they're saying, did you hear what he just said? Or do you, and we talked about this a week ago when we were talking about bat reviews. And because here's the deal too, we do talk, we talk each other, not necessarily about what we think about a bat, but basically I talked to you about a pitching machine, remember? And you were like, I wouldn't go to a pitching machine because I cannot find anybody that wants to pitch. And then they get tired of it, and then Clem's up there banging a bat on the ground because Trey doesn't pitch to him right. So I'm still thinking about, you had a pitching machine out there, and right away you said, don't do it because it pitches in a different spin on the ball.
It had too much spin on it. Yeah. And it would, to me, in my opinion, it messes with your game swing. So if all you did was bat reviews, and I know your guys don't, it will throw your timing off so bad. Because it breaks so fast, the spin rate's so high, and it was great for reviews because you could get through reviews faster, and it's a neat thing to have, but it will screw your timing up. I mean, there's some guys that didn't have a problem with it. That guy Josh that used to hit with me, that dude, you could put a blindfold on him and give him a tobacco stick, and he'd hit the shit out of it. But like he was a dude, the king of adjustments, and I think that's another thing in softball that you have to be able to do is adjust. But that machine is just too much spin for you. But the one we use now, it's tough. I mean, but my son can pitch to me. It works pretty good, but it's not like live pitching. And when Clem came to hit with me, he did the live pitching to me, and I was like, I love it, dude.
Definitely.
Because everybody always, And I've had guys come up to me, and I started playing in a senior league last year, and I was like out there hitting. And they go, "Oh, it ain't gonna be that easy not hitting off that pitching machine." I said, "Just wait." I was like, "I'm telling you, it's easier to see live pitching than that machine."
Because you see it coming out of the hand too.
Yeah.
You actually see it coming out of the hand. You don't see it coming out of the hand of a machine.
No,
you know. But we talk. I want to. You know, we've been talking for a few years, and there's times where we don't talk. But I remember one time I was moving, and I was moving everything to storage. And you called me, and I sat in the storage room, and I talked to you about 45 minutes, and we were just going back and forth about little things. You know, not necessarily what bat we were swinging, but just like little things that we have to put up with while doing this. All the politics when you're doing this, and all the hatred when you're doing this, because there is a lot of that out there. And I just said, I think I told you stick with it, because you got a lot of negative people out there that are trying to, I call it throwing shit up on the wall, and hopefully some of it will stick. So just stay with it and don't listen to those people. And that's another thing too. If you're going to get into doing these bat reviews, you got to be honest, and you got to have thick skin, and don't listen to the naysayers, because there is for every one naysayer, you're going to have 100 guys that actually respect you for what you do. And don't focus on them. Focus on somebody you're helping out, you know, with doing a bat and helping them pick a bat. And they're not spending their hard-earned money or the money they don't have, you know, to actually buy a bat, and they're out that $230, even up to $300 for a bat.
And then they're later.
Yes, definitely, brother. Definitely. Well, here's the deal. I hope you success, man. I really do. I think you're one of the best out there. There's some guys out there that I like. You're one of them. And I hope you take this far and achieve everything, because I am there already. I've already achieved everything. It was time for me 6 months ago to give up Senior Softball Bat Reviews. I'm one of the lucky guys that actually got a good position with a bat company and doing something that I really do love. I mean, that's the deal too. I mean, I'm going to enjoy. I mean, I wake up every morning like, we're going to go hitting tomorrow. I'm going to get up out of bed early. You guys notice that when I put that picture of me, I've got that bitch face, resting bitch face. And that's I didn't like that. I've got to get up there and hit all them bats, and they're all different weights, and they're all different. And it's like, man, it's just it's killing me for my 64-year-old body to change the way a bat swings. And I've got to get up there, and it gets harder as you get older. I wasn't like I was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I loved doing that shit. But now I'm like, oh, what's the hand weight? 10? And if they're calling it, you know, this now. I'm not even going to go there, but you know what I mean about that.
Yeah. But it's like when we were younger, we used to get excited when our bats came in, you know, and you would say, oh man, I got some new bats. And now you're like, oh no, I got more reviews to do.
Yeah, more work to do. And then and then the people are asking you, hey, you said you're going to do this. Where is it at? And you're busy doing something else, or you're busy working on an emergency, but they're screaming at you. You told me last week you were going to get it out. I've dealt with that. Hey, settle down. I got to cut it up. I got to do this. I got to do that. People don't understand is like you work through your phone, but I'm on the computer for 3 hours after we hit, just cutting little things up so I can put them together and tell a story. Another thing too, you've got to learn how to tell a story and you do a great job of it, because you tell a story in your reviews, and you got to see those face expressions, because you got to convince people that, hey, this bat's shitty, or hey, this bat's pretty good. So on those new people that are coming up, but I think you're doing one hell of a job, brother. I really do. And I like what you do, and you have that, you can gab, because you've gabbed to me.
Well, I appreciate it, Dave. I really do. And man, I think Porch did the right thing bringing you on. I mean, I think you got a ton of experience, and I think you're going to really help them out. I mean, dude, you've helped pave the way for a lot of us bat reviewers, and doing something like this, maybe it helps bat reviewers out more. It just paves another road that we can go down, because you would have never thought you would get an opportunity like you did. And if anybody says that they would have not took this opportunity, they're full of shit. I'll say that right there. They're full of shit.
And they're not thinking about, they're not thinking about their family and what's better for them. In other words, the people who say that is because they're not benefiting anymore from this. So that's the people who actually would say that. But here's the deal too, guys. What I like about this, I'm doing something that I've always thought about doing, which is helping a company out to get better. Basically what I'm here to do, just give my input, because I'm already walking into a very good company. I really am. But if Adam sees where I got, that's incentive for a lot of people out there that was, nobody knows me. I'm not a pro, you know, I'm just a bat review guy. So in the next 5 years, the next 3 years, Adam gets a deal with somebody else who could better their product. That's, it's a pay them people and that will put in the work and do this and talk and sit there and have that personality that can succeed, you know. So I think that's what it actually did to a lot of people.
Who would have known a bat reviewer would have got a bat? You know, something like that. I mean, you paving the road, and you know, me talking to people. I work. I'm not gonna lie to you. I work my tail off to do this, and sometimes I sit there and I'll think, I say, man, I'm done with this. I just like, I get tired of it sometimes because there's a lot of drama involved and it's a lot of hard work, and sometimes you just don't feel like you get the respect you're due.
Exactly.
But but I have a buddy that I'll talk to Clem, or I'll talk to Chad, and I'll talk to them, and I'll run stuff by them, and you know, they'll kind of ease me out, and those guys, I mean, they're my rocks, man, and I'll sit there and turn on, you know, rely on them and say, run stuff by me, and say, dude, you got to remember, dude, it's a business, and it's a little bit of a nasty business, but it's a business, and but I still love doing it, but I do have my moments where I'm just like, man, I was like, these dudes make me want to quit, you know. But when I go to a tournament and I'm not even playing, and I'll go watch my buddy Chad and support, and all these people come up and talk to me, man, it's overwhelming. It took me a while to get used to that, but everybody wants to come talk to you, man, and it's just awesome. I mean, it's really neat to talk to. I mean, I had a dude from, I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had a guy from Colorado, and man, he was telling me stuff, and I won't repeat what he said, but he was talking about some other channels, and he was talking. And he said word for word how I felt about stuff. And I said, dude, I could hug you. I was like, you're all the way in Denver, Colorado, across the country. And, you know, you could relate to me, but you felt how I did about some stuff. And, man, it made a difference. It made me feel better going out there and talking to all the people and stuff like that. And, yeah, I got haters. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have them.
Definitely.
You're on a platform. That's what you're going to have. I mean, I had friends that told me, it's like, hey, man, just be careful. You know, be careful. You're going to have your haters. And I said, yeah, I mean, I know that. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, and honestly, I used to I still, to this day, I'll still get irritated by some stuff. But, like, now I just don't give a shit. I mean,
but you, at the beginning, the same way. As you get into it and you put in your time, after a while, you understand, because of the haters, you made it. If I didn't have any haters, I would say I'm doing something wrong here, right? So now that you have the haters, you're like, okay, I screw them. I have more people that love me than I do that hate me, a lot more.
Yeah.
And you put in the work to get it done. And there is time, but I'm telling you, there is times where I just want to jump through the computer and just grab them, because a lot of them are just computer guys that just sit up there and don't have anything else to do, and their wife's mad at them, you know, and their wife's mad at them, and they just gotta pick on somebody. And I got to the point where I said, okay, bud, all right, you know, you're trying to tell me something, okay, all right, God bless you, brother, God bless you. And that's all I do now, because I'm used to it. It's just something that I don't pay attention to, but a little bit does. Like, you'll get somebody out there that just trashes you, and I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. And like, nobody knows you. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows Adam.
Some days somebody will send me a message and they'll say, hey, man, they want to talk about bats. And I said, dude, you want to talk to me? Because I said, I will fill your ear full of shit. You'll be like, okay, dude, stop talking to me, because you want to talk about bats way too much. And that's how some days, like, but I love doing it. I love talking about it. I love telling people, hey, I know what's coming out. Maybe instead of buying this bat today, hold off. I know this is going to come. Wait for it. I said this might fit up your, you know, right up your alley or something like that. And I'll tell guys, I'll say, hey, man, this is a good bat. I said, but you can't get it. You can't get your hands on it. And it's a little overhyped, but you can't get your hands on it. This is just as good a bat, and you can go get it. It's in stock. Go get that. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes, like you said, you can't lead a horse to water. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, man. So
there are those guys out there too that do that. But I hope you, dude, I love this. I love talking about this. And I think I had bullet points here, and I went through 3 of them already. And I think we actually added like 12 more. So
I'm sorry.
No, that's good. It's a lot of good information that a lot of people want to know about, that want to get into this business, because It's not. It's tough and it's hard. You got to cut up your own material. When you start paying people to cut up your own material and you're spending a lot of money out of pocket, you don't have deep pockets. And I was lucky enough that I'm talking about my wife. We had deep pockets back in the day. I don't anymore, but and it just, you got to love to do it. This is something that you got to love, but there's a time frame. The longer you're into it, the bad part about it is the longer you're into it, you're going to start realizing the nasty part of it. Because like you said earlier, there is the drama, there is the politics, there is bending the knee, and you have resisted all of that, and I commend you for it, because that will make you a better person in the future on what you're doing right now, you know. And I love what you're doing. I love where you're going. That's, I wanted you on tonight, basically to talk about your bat and to talk about what you do, because I'm a big admirer of yours. And we talked when you first started, we would talk about that too. I remember when you were on with Jesse on a podcast that one night, and I sat there and watched for an hour, a little over an hour, you two guys going at it. Jesse had his stuff going on about the same time I had my stuff going on. I think it might be a year or two after 2011, maybe, that he started his, and I would listen, but he was more in a U-Trip and ASA, so I kind of would watch him and watch the way he did things, you know, because I had to learn to doing this. I just didn't jump on here and just start talking like I do now. This is something that gradually got to where it is right now, where I can talk, you know, or not do 30 takes at one time.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I kind of started, was watching Jesse, and then I found you, because Jesse had even told me about you, and Jesse is one of the few people as a bat reviewer that reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I like your channel." He sent me some bats to hit, and he said he helped me out and stuff. And I've never forgot that about Jesse and stuff. And, you know, and Jesse doesn't do it as much. He's got family, he's got kids and stuff like that. But I talked to him the other day, and he said that he was trying to evolve into something else. And that's the other thing. If you're a bat reviewer, you're going to have to evolve. You can't do it the same way all the time. You constantly got to get better. If you don't, man, you'll get left, you know, at the gate, because I mean, you're not going to last, and people won't stop watching. You know, and I've watched guys that are really big, and they still try to stay in it, and didn't change. They didn't change anything. They didn't evolve to anything better, and
passed them by.
They're not getting YouTube and stuff. And I watch that. I watch that stuff because I want to learn. I want to get better, because I want to be better at it. And I don't know. I mean, it's just, and then honestly, like you said, no money. I mean, really. I mean, so it's hard to make money at it. So unless you sell bats, that's it. Unless you sell bats,
I can give you a number here, and it would probably surprise you. When I did those analytics, and just to give people a good idea, because I did have a big platform, I'm going to give you a number here. You can get bigger, you can get smaller. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a number here. You want to know how much money I made in 15 years? $35,000 in 15 years. That's shit money.
Now,
that's shit money.
And you spent more than that.
And I've spent more than that. Analytics, you can know how much money. I mean, 35,000. I looked at that number for the first time the other day. I'm like, that's getting paid. That ain't nothing, man. That is nothing.
That's not the number you take back to your wife.
That's the number.
That's not a good number.
That's the number I hid from my wife, because she'd look at it and go, "Are you effing kidding me?" And I'll be like, "Oh, yeah. But I like doing it."
That don't matter.
No, it doesn't matter to the wife. She doesn't care about that, you know. But hey, brother, thanks for coming on. We need to do this more often, because I want to pick your brain about bats, and I know you're coming from my background now, and I do want to, especially when we have a short porch bat out, short porch bat out there, and kind of when you do the review on it, it kind of touch base with you after that and bring you on, ask you what you thought about it, you know, because I think you're one of the good guys out there. There's some guys out there. There's some good guys out there, but you're one of the top good guys out there, and I like what you're doing, and keep at it. And don't listen to the bullshit, because I didn't for 15 years, and look where it got me. So hopefully I wish someday where somebody would go, hey, you know, let's bring him on here and see if he can help us with actually anything that we can do in the bat market. So I think that would be great for a lot of the guys out there.
Well, Dave, I appreciate you having me on, and good luck, buddy.
All right, we'll be swinging your bat tomorrow too, so stay tuned. Okay, I think we're doing Facebook Live tomorrow too. We'll be swinging your bat. Hey.
Okay, cool.
Oh, the compression test after 150 swings, I got it at 175 today. So I'm
Oh,
thinking
wow.
we got it 175, and what I'm going to do is we're going to hit it about 200 times more and see how long it's going to keep that compression. But if it's like the wig popper, I'm looking at 170 all the way through is what I think it's going to do, because that's the numbers of the wig popper for a long time. And I think we're almost there. We've got 5 pounds that we got to get there. But dude, it's a badass bat. We really do love it. I mean, and we're going to put out more video on it in the next few days.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Oh, thanks, brother.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. I've got so much to talk about. That's no money in 15 years, 35,000. Oh, what did that come out to? Guys, I've been on here. How long have I been on here? Somebody, tell me how long I've been on here. Over an hour, I would think. Bats we got coming. Bats we got coming with Short Porch. And again, guys, the review is gone. The review is gone. What we are doing right now is basically promoting, talking about weight distribution, talking about balance points on a lot of the Short Porch bats that are out there. I have guys coming in that are going to swing. Oh man, I got guys coming out. They're going to swing different bats, and they're going to actually talk about the bat. I've got Murray. I'm going to try to put Murray Williams, which is a great hitter. He plays 50s, 55s, and he plays 55s, 60s, and 70s. 65s and 70s. He played all those brackets. So I got he's using this one bat. I want to try to get him into one of those Short Porch bats that has one of those high bats, and basically get him into that bat. He's coming out tomorrow, going to hit with us tomorrow, and I'm going to put a couple of bats in it. That way he can swing and basically have some people come out where I'm sitting there telling this bat better fits you. You guys can hear it and go at Short Porch started this before I came along, and I want to kind of give more knowledge on how to better pick a bat. It's that way you're not putting a bat in your hands that doesn't fit your swing, that doesn't fit your, for one, doesn't fit the barrel flex is what I'm talking about. And I think we're doing that. And guys, there is so much going on with Short Porch that now that I work for the company, I cannot talk about. But you know, there's so many things because I've been on there for a long time, and so many things I want to point out. You know, like the carbon being made in the United States, and basically talk about the carbon that they use, which is high grade carbon. It's not reused carbon, it's high grade carbon that's fresh, that's new. So basically talk about little things like that, but not try to go into in depth, because I'm no longer that guy that is trying to help other companies out build their bat. I'm actually helping, giving my knowledge to a company that already has a wealth of knowledge and engineers that are working for it to actually help them out when it comes to weight distribution, barrel flex, and putting bats in other people's hands. And guys, I don't think I would have went with another bat company because of the knowledge that they're actually bringing to the table. And I was like, whenever I heard about what they do, and y'all guys don't know a lot of things that they do, but what they do, and I'm like, dude, you have me at hello. That you don't have to talk anymore. Quit talking. Let's eat. You got me. I'm ready, and I'm excited. I am excited where this company is going, and if I can help them in any way, like talk to Christian or gain knowledge from him, if I can help them in any way, I'm all ears. I'm like a sponge too when it comes to bats. I want to absorb all this energy, guys. And my minions, I'm just going to say one thing to you. Thanks for being with me. I hope you can be with me when I do this transition. And there is a lot of good shit coming in the next few years. I'm not going to promise shit. I'm just telling you. And you can't put all your eggs out there and start running them. I've got so many thoughts, so many things written down that I can add to or change a bat, you know, just little tweaks, little honing that I can do to change a bat. And you guys know me, my minions know me, and they know this for a fact. I haven't talked about everything in the last 15 years. I have not. I've kept my mouth shut about the big things that I think about when I'm sleeping, when I'm like, I got to write that down, that actually can better a bat. and basically because of, and plus hearing you guys talk to me too about little things, you know, little things you can put on a bat to actually help the customers out when you're picking out a bat, just little things like that. So hopefully you guys are with me, and the minions. I'm just telling you, I'm not gonna talk about it because it's none of anybody's business but Short Porch. Whenever I talk about things from now on, so you won't hear me talking about anything on how to better a bat. I'll be writing it down and talking to Short Porch about it. And if you guys, the minions, know this, there's a lot of good shit coming with this company, and just sit tight, hang on, and watch the next 2 to 3 years on what's going to happen. And I think it's going to be good. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm out again next week. I'm going to have another guy coming on next week, and I contacted him today, and he hasn't said anything about it yet, but I'm going to have him come on. And then have him come on next week. And basically what I'm gonna do with these podcasts, just keep running them, giving up information, doing Facebook Live. We got Facebook Live going on in the morning. And I don't like, I might run YouTube Live in the morning for the first time. And the reason why is I don't like too much about what Facebook does, is because you can hear the contact of the ball, but just kind of lags a little bit in the sound. I don't like it, a little grainy. So I'm gonna try it tomorrow for the first time on YouTube, and you guys tune in, because I have more of these guys tuning in here than I am there. And then guys, thank for tuning in. And there's a lot of stuff, I can't talk about it, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on with balls too, because you guys remember I talked about a ball design that I wanted to do. I can do that now. There is another device that will probably be introduced next spring, beginning of the year. There's another device that I've had written down for probably around 6 years that I introduced to them, and I've already introduced it to them, and especially Leslie, and she got all excited whenever I was talking to her about it, that this is a game changer. It's not a bat, it's just a game changer, and what better help you guys when you're doing things. I can't talk about it too much because I don't want to give it away, and I don't want anybody stealing shit. So that's how come I haven't talked about it. But guys, stay tuned. There's a bunch of good shit coming on. And then I'm going to keep plugging. It's just not going to be bat reviews anymore. It's going to be basically information videos. There's going to be health, a bunch of things that you can do. Weightlifting is going to take off here pretty quick too. So I'm going to start doing that. I've already got a few guys that are going to join me that lift weights around me too, that is going to do that. Trey just asked me about a workout routine too before I got on. I'm going to bring all that stuff to him tomorrow. So remind me, Trey, in the morning to bring it to you. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'll see you guys again next week or tomorrow morning on Facebook. I'm going to go to YouTube. Thanks. Guys, whatever, I know I got, 30 guys going here. And the one thing I want to talk about here too is channel's not dying. It's just not doing bat reviews. If you guys want to go, because you are you like those bat reviews, we're still going to have behind the scenes, but we're going to have behind the scenes with Short Porch. And if you guys want to go to another channel, that's fine. I mean, I understand. I'm not butthurt because I got all these guys that are dropping off, and I kind of expected it that was going to happen, because a lot of you guys want to hear about what the best thing out there. I'm no longer doing that. So I will be doing advertising and just a lot of informational videos when it comes to Short Porch. A lot of informational videos when you see what's coming, the inventions that are coming forward, and a couple of them are mine, and then a few of them is what Short Porch has talked to me about on what direction that they're going. And I love, the only reason I jumped on board is because of where they're going to take this. I would not, if they were going to stay stagnant, I wouldn't have jumped. I wouldn't have came on this. But they have a big future ahead of them, and they're very, very intelligent people that work there and know their shit. Guys, they're really good when they're doing that. And I think I just jumped on a train that was going 100 miles an hour is basically what I did, and try to just talk to these people and just tell them, hey, because they want to get my input, because I've hit so many bats, so that's the reason that I actually went with them. And I was done with the bat reviews. It was just tired. Like Adam's probably going to get there too, where he just tired of the grind. you know, and Adam's younger than me too. I'm 64. You know, I haven't played ball this year. I really haven't. I mean, I'm trying to, from the reviews, I've got a bad back, you know, and I'm just, you know, I'm probably playing 65s next year. That's probably all I'm going to do is play 65s next year, but it's going to free me up. You know, doing this, it's going to free me up where I can travel and play 65s. I will be traveling too with Short Porch. I'll be showing up at a lot of their tents, you know, throughout the United States. I've already talked about that. I'll be at Worlds the whole time going on at Worlds. I will be there every day. So I'll be at the managers meeting. When they have the managers meeting, you know, you guys want to come for a talk, you can guys come up there and talk to me. Pick my brain or I'll pick your brain. It doesn't matter. But I'm done with trashing. Not trashing, but actually I'm done with talking about this bat's not good and this bat's not good. So, you know, I'll walk my walk and let them walk their walk and see who comes out at the end. Basically, I was talking to somebody the other day about, you know, I got trashed pretty bad whenever I made this decision, and I'm saying, hey, you just do your shit and let me do my shit. That's it. I don't have nothing to do with you. You do your shit. I'm not talking about your shit anymore. Just do you, and I'm going to do me, and that's how we're going to do it. If you want to watch me, then watch me. I don't care. I'm not that guy that needs all that attention. I really don't. I'm just trying to introduce something to a lot of you guys out there that's going to better your game, better your health and nutrition, you know, to keep you in it for a lot longer. That's my biggest goal, you know, and put you in a bat that actually fixes your, you know, that goes with your bat speed, basically. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for staying with me on the guys that are staying with me. Thanks for doing that, and I really do appreciate it. And I know I'm gonna get, you know, there's gonna be guys gonna be, you know, kind of going off, you know, and not unsubscribing. There's no ill will. I don't care. You know, you guys go get on Adam's. I would recommend right now that you guys go to Adam and get on his YouTube channel, FatGuy BP, and I think it's FatGuy BP, and yeah, it's FatGuy BP, and get on his channel. Wow, I talk too much. Get on his channel, and he's got. I like the way he talks. And there's other bat review. Get on everybody's bat review channel out there, and get on theirs and listen to everybody. Like I told you guys at the beginning, listen to everybody when they're talking, and make your own mind out for yourself. Thanks, guys, for watching.